what's the deal? I don't mean to start this off like what's the deal with that? But seriously, all right, let me explain. I was just trying to plug in my mic, because whatever. I was trying to plug it in, and I don't know, like, what is the deal with USB? Like, has anyone ever in the history of all time plugged one in perfectly on the first try? It's always, you put it over, boom, you flip it over, boom, you flip it back, boom, and maybe most of the time you'll get it on the third try. It's never the first. It's not even the second. There's some sort of weird thing. I don't know why I can't get it. And I looked at it beforehand. I knew exactly. I was like, this is the way. Because I've done it 1,000 times and I've plugged it in. I was like, this is how you do it. I'm going to set it in. So I put it. Boom. I keep flipping. What? I can't. And I don't know why. There's some sort of weird hacks or something on USB cables. Like, I have no idea. Like, if the people who made USB ran over like some sort of wizard's dog, and they just like cursed him. You'll never be able to plug it in on the first try. Arr, arr, arr. And they're like, no, why? Anyways, I'm frustrated. I'm not that frustrated, but seriously, like, what the heck? Okay, let's go. Firecrackers! Oh, wake me up, man! Wake me up! Yeah! Hello! Hey! How's everybody doing? What is up? What's up? Good morning. How are you? How are you guys doing? Actually, I was reading some forums and got some info from a lot of different people. They were saying that you should never open your podcast by saying hello everyone, because it doesn't feel like an intimate personal experience. And I can't help it. I can't stop doing that, because I feel like it's just one big collective family. Sure I'm the one with the mic, and but like, that's kind of the point. Maybe we're just sitting around, we're telling stories, and it's just my turn. I'm the one with the magic conch, the little shell. But I don't know if that's a certain thing. So if anyone actually does have a problem with that, it's like, no, I don't like you addressing everybody else. Just talk to me personally. Maybe I will. But I don't know. It's really hard for me, though, because every time I'm like, yeah, people of the world, how you doing? I feel like we're a place. We're one big, large community of nonsense. But that's it. It's over the fence. I'm speaking over the fence to whoever's over there. I don't know who's over there, and neither does the guy over the fence. That's who I am. I'm just saying, if you're out there, this is for you. I'm talking to you, right? I'm not talking to... I guess, whatever. You get the point, and I'm not going to stop unless someone actually says they super feel like they have to. But we'll see. Also, hi, welcome back. I missed last week. I'll explain why. But it was just there was a lot of stuff going on, and I tried to do it. I sat down and I played everything, and I was just like, geez, this just isn't like. I was so mentally pooped out that I couldn't bring it up, and maybe that's something I need to work on for me. But it was also being very considerate, because I was like, you guys don't deserve some little halfly done me going, well, what's the deal with whatever. That's kind of what I did. But I'm back. All right, I'm trying. We're gonna do this. Things might get a little more sketchy going forward. I'll explain that later too. See, that's called a little teaser. That's just to keep you right on the edge of your seat, just enough for you to wait through this whole thing. Granted, this is not live. You can just fast forward, but you don't know when I'm going to say it. I could say it 2 minutes. I could say it in 20. How about that? Welcome to the show, boy. So anyways, I am not in my little studio, my little path, my little box that I built for myself to talk. It's not my typical walls I'm most friendly with, but I know them decently enough. because my brother took the computer that I usually record on, which I have set up in there. He took that, rightfully so. It was his computer, but still, I was not prepared for it. So now I'm out using a different. It's still his computer that he has. He's got too many of them. But I'm using a different one. But I'm out in this little desk thing. I threw a blanket over this PC tower because the fans are just like. I'm trying to quiet that down as much as I can. And so if you hear that, I'm sorry. I'm still, I'm not properly trained and equipped to do soundproofing. But I threw a blanket. The thread count's high. So it should work. How you doing? What else is going on here? Well, I mean, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot across the desk. I have a whole thing of chive and onion cream cheese spread that I did not mean to leave out. The whole place is a mess. And this is actually his area. It's not his room, but it's his area. And he's never here. I'm always the one occupying it and destroying it, basically. And he gets the blame, a lot of it, but like to an extent, he does a lot. Well, here's the thing: he has a lot of stuff. He has a lot of crap, and I'm kind of just shuffle it around wherever I can get around it. So it's none of it's organized ever, whatever he has. But it's like he just dumps this giant pile of crap everywhere, and I just kind of spread it out, in a nice even thing. And maybe that's good or bad, but there's just so much stuff everywhere. Some's his, some's not, some's mine. But I'm working on it, and it's really messy because I just feel super cluttered and crammed in this little box of whatever. There's snacks and chips and glasses and there's electrical tape, super glue, and there's a small flathead and a big Phillips screwdriver and a portable battery and a mask and a light for some portable lights. Some hairbands. There's another laptop. He's got another computer, chip clips, and I could just go on and on. But it is what it is. Welcome to the studio. This time we make do. No matter what we do, we make do. Dang, I have a good segue for all this trash. Maybe I should just go right into it. Take a breath. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a segue right now. Oh, there's so much trash around. Speaking of trash, so I was trying to figure out what I'm going to talk about for an episode, and then a friend of mine once told me that if you ever, he wasn't talking about if you want news or something like that, but I'll just attribute him to being super wise with knowledge, that if you ever want to find something good to talk about, just click on Florida news. And I was like, oh, okay, well, how trustworthy is this? So I just clicked on it, looked it up, and this is today. I just clicked on the very top one, and it says, watch a man. He is in he's covered head to toe in a garbage bag suit, and he is lighting fire. He's setting fire all the garbage trucks around Florida. Apparently, I haven't read it all, but I read the title and I was like, whoa, this is not usual. And you scroll through all the Florida news, and you're just like, what are they doing down there? What is the whole how can one place be so freaking weird and messed up? What are they eating? What are they There's got to be some sort of conspiracy. I mean, I don't have a good one, but what are they doing? It can't be the only place that everyone's just Florida. Anyways, I would like to read the article. We will see if it works. If it doesn't, then I will blame my friend for giving me not good advice for quality content. But we'll see. And I think it's really relies on me more than anything about what you can make of a story. But let's read through this. There's just the title. So, a man wearing goggles and a garbage bag suit, in quotes, was caught on camera breaking into a waste management center, setting several garbage trucks on fire. Jeez. I mean, what do you make of that? How do you even see this in the news? So this guy he's setting on garbage trucks on fire. Okay. Welcome to Florida. You moved to Florida. Your first day in Florida, you open up the newspaper and all right, this is the kind of stuff you open, you walk into. Welcome to Florida. This garbage man is setting on garbage trucks on fire. I shall burn my town and burn my family. Why is he so against the garbage trucks? Maybe they'll explain later. I'm going to keep on reading. Deputies are asking to help in finding the arsonist. Surveillance video released shows the man breaking into the Waste Pro facility shortly after 2 a.m. Wow. Okay, so this guy is super awesome. Late night trash man. Still nothing much. There's nothing much to say going on except this guy got caught on tape somehow. He's not a garbage ninja, just a garbage man. Not like he's a bad person, although, he's just lighting up garbage trucks. This is really funny for me. The man, who investigators say is wearing goggles and what appears to be a black garbage bag, is then seen walking to the rear of the property, passing rows of garbage trucks. Deputies said he has a gas canister in his hand. When he gets to the rear of the property, he sets a garbage truck on fire. Just complete. As he starts walking back toward the front gate, the garbage truck he just left begins to smoke. Okay, that's how it works. Once he's off screen, more trucks catch on fire. Blah 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 blah. See, maybe I should have read this beforehand. We're learning. This is good. I don't know how quality this Florida stuff is, but really interesting. I don't live in a place where a lot of weird stuff happens, like what's the weirdest thing we had? One time there was like 3 garage sales like on the same street, and we're like, what? Like who these, like there must have been like some threat, somebody been like up in the, like the landlord was upping the prices on the entire road and they had to get some extra money. That's it though. That's really weird. There was but not the garage sales. That was, there's not much to say about that. That was pretty standard. But the point is, nothing much goes around. Nothing like this. Different surveillance cameras recorded. Oh, dang. So the cameras then burst into flames. The cameras inside the buildings also capture the man opening the door. Wait, what? And placing a clear bottle of liquid on the floor. He then sets the entire building. What? This dude is taking out everything. He's like Batman. If Batman was against trash, against the sanitation engineers, he's so. I guess, is this more like a villain thing? He is trash, so he's not setting trash on fire. He's destroying. Oh, okay, I get it. So he's destroying the people that collect the trash because he is trash. Again. You're not trying to say he's a bad person. You're trash, kid. But he's doing what he can. So this is interesting now. Now I get it. See, I was so focused on trying to make a joke, I missed what was right in front of me. This guy is literally taking down everything. He's setting his family free. I think that's the bottom line. So deputies have not said how many garbage trucks were set on fire. Why didn't they want to disclose that? So he caused over $4 million in damage. Holy crap. See, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Okay? It just goes to show you this guy is loving it and he wants more of it. Horrible stuff though. Why didn't they say how many garbage trucks were set on fire? Sir, how many garbage trucks did you lose? We won't say. What? I guess it's probably embarrassing to say that it's like the garbage straight up got out of the truck. They got I wonder if they picked up the guy on the sidewalk while he was just chilling, and they dumped this guy into the back of the truck, and he like wakes up and he's like, oh heck no, nah, I'm not going down like this, and he just starts burning crap down. Again, horrible person, not a good thing to do, but really funny. So, detective said the man left the facility and left in a black sedan. Okay, so he had his own vehicle, or he had a partner, which was like the recycling man. But that guy's probably better, unless he's against recycling. How's that work? These are not good people. And with more information, that's the end. And that's what it says. It just says, welcome to Florida. Welcome to Florida. So, if you're in Florida and you just moved here, and that's the first thing you do, I don't know what you do. If anyone's out there and you just moved to Florida and that's the first news story you see is that the garbage has come alive and is like lighting up other, like the freaking garbage trucks, not even just the garbage trucks, the garbage facilities? what kind of man has that much power, that much potential? Not many. That's the truth. Well, I gotta say I don't know how funny it was. I was just so focused on enjoying it that I didn't even think about if that was entertaining to listen to. I might not even have read all the stuff properly, but that's not important. All right, learning experience. The point is, Florida is a good source of news. Anyways, that was awesome. That's what I do when I can't remember how to talk. I just kind of, I guess that was exactly a car crash. Dog dies, USBs cursed. Good night. Boom. Okay, so I'm looking through my notes. I did write a couple things down. Little beats. I want to hit it. Boom, boom, boom. Don't know if I'm technically going around it. I'm out of the swing of things. I missed a week. It's gonna take some time. Another week, probably. But what's going on right now? We could go to politics, or I could tell you why I missed the last week. Tell you why I missed the last week would be a perfect segue. And politics really aren't that interesting. I mean, they are here. Like, I guess now I know where I'm going. So my thing with politics is just like, well, the election is coming up right now, and maybe it's wrong for me to not be that interested in. I know it's important, okay? I understand. I get it. It has value. But it's like so many people are saying so many things from different sides and different angles. And now there's fact checkers, right? There's fact checkers for everything somebody says, and most times people aren't telling the truth. So it's hard for me to want to get really into it and learn about it when I can't even trust what someone's saying. And then if you look into someone says this, someone always has a counterpoint. Everything I've ever seen across any forum or social media or online, no one has ever said a thing, and someone's been like, yep, you're right. You got me there. You stumped me. You got me good. Everyone's always like, oh, this is what happened, sir. And it's just so hard to really get into because it always counters. There's always another point. There's always, this is false, yours is false, this is that. It's like, how do you know? How am I supposed to really get into it? Because I can't trust anything that's going on. So it's just like, I understand the importance and I'll listen to it and I'll just kind of, you want to keep I guess that's the saying, right? It's if you follow the news, you're misinformed. If you don't, you're not informed, or it's backwards. But whatever. Point is, I've always wanted to get like deeper into it, but I try and it's like how do I even know? And you can say that like, no, don't trust them, trust your eyes, huh? Trust your eyes. I'm like, well, it's my eyes to say that whatever. I don't see anything. Okay. Your eyes could tell you one thing, someone else's could tell you other. I could be like, global warming's not a real thing. It's freezing. I was just chilly right now, but I don't know. I'm interested because it's never been a big deal, and I want it to be a big deal. Like when I turned 18, my biggest thing was, I can vote. I was like, I can buy spray paint now. Like I was interested, but like not in that. I was more interested in spray painting my skateboard. I just wish there was an easier way. I wish there was maybe there is. Maybe people will say, well, you can go and find this, and this will show you the correct things. And then someone else will be like, counterpoint, no, you shouldn't do that. Trust your eyes, boy. See upon the mountains. I'm like, what do you mean? I just, anyways, that's my thing with politics is that I have nothing with politics. And quite honestly, the only way to really be into it is to be like so kept up with it. And you're like, people just seem so consumed with it, and I understand it's a good thing. Things are very important, all right? I'm not trying to underplay that. My point is that it's so hard for someone who's not so focused on it to follow and understand it. And then if you do get consumed by it, that's not healthy either, because obviously it's gotta be super frustrating for people that's like every time you say something, someone's got a counterpoint. You can't trust anything. Like that's why I like football. I can just be like, this person was offered $33.5 million to play. Boom, that's it. No one has a different opinion on it. That's just what it is. That's good. Football news is trustworthy. But it's like facts are not facts. Opinions are. It's whatever. My point is, I wish there was a better way, but I don't know if it's going to make it better or worse, or maybe it's just lazy for me to do that. But it's like, is not being lazy towards it? This is just my own thing. This isn't really funny. This is more just me trying to explain, and maybe there's a better way for someone to understand it. Maybe is there like an intro level? There's got to be something else. I can follow as well as I want, but then everyone else has different opinions. You could look up anything. And someone has a freaking different, whatever. How are you supposed to know? And the only way I feel like people really do know is that that's like their whole lives, and that sucks. That's sorry. That's sad. I don't mean to say that. Like politicians' lives are like they've wasted all their time. But I'm sure you guys have a lot more wrinkles and gray hair than you would like because of your profession. That's just something you have to sacrifice. Good for you. You're doing great. But I wish I wish I could like follow and get into it and actually know what's true without having to like keep up with it like super intensely. It's just the world. Maybe I'm just too free spirited to worry about it, because I'm not super worried, but I know the importance of it. But at the same time, I'm like, I can't, whatever. I wish there was a better way. There's not, unless there is. But it's, again, and someone has I'm sure you guys have a counterpoint to what I'm saying right now. Everything's a debate. That's what I don't like. I wish there were facts. I wish there were straight up things that someone could just say and just be like, this is what happened. This is what happened, and nothing else occurred after that or between that or to contradict this, and that's it. Whatever. But that's life, I guess. Such a debate. Life's one big debate. Everybody's so angry. Man, that's another thing with politics. Everyone's so... I don't know. Everyone gets so riled up. And again, whatever. It's probably not my place to talk about it at all, because everyone's so... You don't know what you're talking about. This is the most important thing in my life. And I'm like, I understand it's important. I just don't understand it. Like, anyways, let's talk about something that does have a fact. The reason that I missed last week, okay? Ha! Segue! So the reason I missed last week was I was helping someone with a construction project. I was working in construction for the week. And I thought it would be okay. But like I said last week, my sleep schedule is not great, right? I got in the habit of having a flexible sleep schedule so I could sleep in sometimes. And I was waking up basically at like the crack of dusk. And dusk, okay? You understand? That's like 6 p.m. It wasn't actually that bad. But I could not fall asleep for the life of me, and I kept trying to change my schedule so I could get up, because I needed to wake up at 6 a.m. to drive across however long to get there, and to waking up like at the butt crack of dawn from where I was going. It was so hard. So every single night of the week, I was only sleeping, I think for the entire week, I slept under 10 hours for the entirety of the entire thing. So I was so, I was fine at the work site. But when I would get home, I was so freaking exhausted. And for some reason, again, like I've explained before, I can't sleep unless my body's been like, yes, we've hit this threshold. We've hit this, the quote, we've hit the mark. We've hit the bar of fun that we've had. So my body's like, no, we're not going to sleep yet. I'm like, dude, no, I'm so tired. But I couldn't. And so that's when the podcast came around and it was time to do that. I sat down. I was like, I'm committed, baby. I'm going to do this because I never miss a week. Even though it had only been the 4th episode, which this one is right now. Yeah, so I was ready to do it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't pull myself together to make a quality. I started recording probably about 2 minutes and I was just like, but whatever. It is what it is. So I apologize. I didn't mean to miss it, but like on the other hand, I don't know how, this is me on, I don't even know how good this episode is, and I'm fully refreshed kinda right now. But anyways, so that's where I was gone. Not much to say from the building site, doing much except for, this was something I was really frustrated with. So we were building the garage, and you laid the trusses, which basically like just, if you don't know, it's just a big triangle basically that you put so your roof builds. You can picture it, you can understand it, whatever. Point is, we were nailing it with hammers, and something I've done a cajillion, and the number doesn't have to be real, but you just have to understand the point that I'm making. I've hammered a nail in a cajillion times, but for some reason, every time I hit this, I was sitting here for way too long, like 10 minutes on the same nail, and I'd already done about 20 of them, but there was just this one nail on this one spot that every time I hit it, bam, the nail freaking got like scoliosis. It just bent completely out of shape. And for the life of me, I could not get this to go in. So I would pull it out and just, ouch, that was the nail, ouch. And I'm like, dude. And so I was trying to bang it. I'd try and correct it as much as I could, and then it was just like, I just can't do it. So I'd have to find a way to pull out. That's me pulling the nail out of the wood. Pretty good sound if you ever heard it. It's a really good impression. And I'd pull another one out. Bam! Ouch! Another injured spine. And so I would keep on doing this over and over and over and over again. I was so frustrated. I was throwing my shoulder out, just pow, pow, pow. Probably at least 13 nails. And then I was just like, okay, well, I tried going slow, I tried going fast, hard. Like, I was so many different of my hammering strategies were just completely thrown out the window. This freaking fragile boned little nail I just couldn't do it. I was so frustrated. And so I couldn't do the podcast. That's the truth, okay? You got it out of me. That's what happened. I came home and I was so defeated about this nail that I just couldn't do it. I didn't think I deserved to do it. My pride and my shame had flipped completely opposite sides of the spectrum. But it was a shame. And that's how that went. I felt like I spent the entire day doing that one thing, and I feel like I'm in a bit of a slump right now. I haven't tried to hit a nail since. So, if anyone else has hit that before, I'm a marksman with a hammer, okay? Just bang! Like Mr. Miyagi catching a fly. I'm accurate and I'm quick. Pew, pew. And like when he just one taps the nails. Bam, bam, bam. That was me. I used to have that ability, but no longer. For some reason, every time I try to hit it, bam, 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 bam. Eventually I did get it, but it was over, and I had to turn it over to, there were some older gentlemen. They were twins, actually, and they were very qualified. They were really good with it, so they were probably about like 75 and completely identical. How cool is that? I never even thought about that before I had, seen them. For some reason in my head, I was just like, if there's twins, I never pictured them growing old together. And they still wore the same shoes, same haircut, same everything. They were perfectly like out of like shape together. It was really, really remarkable and interesting to see. But that thought never crossed my mind that like after 12 years old, that these twins still are together completely. And I haven't seen many twins in my life, but still, the thought of like these two older gentlemen dressing and looking the same and whatever, twins, doesn't mean they are the same, but similar. I'd never pictured that. You're just like, what? How are what? It took me a minute for real. Really nice people though, great with a hammer. But even them, even some of their nails bent out of shape. But that's what happened. Is this whole episode just one big recap? Call me Recap Mcgee, filling in 2 weeks of what I've been up to? Maybe I should talk slower. But that's what happened. The one other thing I do have to talk about is, so the final day I was there. And the reason it was the final day, I'll explain that in a second as well. But that's another teaser for you. Ba-bam! Okay, so the final day I was there, I had to go and pick up some stuff for the boss, right? So I went to Home Depot, and anytime I've ever gone anywhere to pick up something for someone else, it has never gone right at all. And I mean that 100%, okay? From the bottom of my heart, I promise you can trust me that it sucks every time. There's some sort of weird information or something they've never asked that I'm always sitting there looking like a fool or like I'm trying to rob them, like I don't know anything. It could be coupons, it could be food, it could be a snack, it could be a bag of chips. I don't care. It just does not work. It doesn't show up, doesn't happen, and it just doesn't go well for me. So let me explain how this whole thing went. So I get these things, I get to the pro checkout out at Home Depot, and as soon as I get there, so he gave me the name of the client. And he wasn't trying to screw me over. This is just what happens, okay? And then I don't know if either he forgot or they asked more questions or it's because I wasn't him. Point is, it's never as easy being the secondary man picking something up. So it was probably, this was over, I think it might have been close to 3 hours. I don't know, but way too long. If you ever picked up something from Home Depot, any kind of lumber or whatever, you know that this is way too long. So I go to pick up there and I realize so all I have is this guy's name, and I don't even know how to spell it right. So I'm supposed to give this guy this name and then the name of my boss, which I also realize I don't know his last name. The person that I am picking stuff up for in the first place, who sent me there, I don't even know his last name. So what do? I take to Facebook, so I have to search that, find him through mutual friends, and then I see, okay, boom, that's his last name. So bam, I walk up, I give the guy his name. They're like, okay, sick. Now, what's the project name? I'm like, don't know. And then he's like, okay, so what's your like, your company name? Don't know that either. What's the number of the client that you want to buy this for? Don't know. Okay, what's his name? Finally, they ask me the question that I actually have the answer to, the guy's name. Boom, I tell him the name. How do you spell it? Oh, crap, this sucks. So I'm there, and I just improvise something on the spot. They type it in. They're like, okay, thank you. This guy's finally got some information. Bing. Nothing shows up. Of course, probably because his name is some like Rampioli or something like that. And it's got to be Italian. It's got tons of L's and I's and whatever. And I have no chance of guessing at this. So I have to call this guy twice. I get his information. Boom, boom, boom. I give him the number. Actually, hold on, before that, so there's another people that are like, actually, if you just have the number of your boss, that will show up. It's just some weird guy. He's already checking out. He's just still lingering around to watch this whole thing. It's probably been about 15 minutes or so like that. I can't remember everything that was going on, but so I've already been in here. And I'm just sitting here shrugging. I don't know. And they're like, just use the number of your boss, and then he'll pop right up. I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. Here's his number. They're like, yeah, doesn't show up. I'm like, okay, great. So then I have to call him, and I have to find his name, and I have to ask how it's spelled, and do these things, and it's still not working. And then we finally get the project name, and then everything shows up. And it's finally spelled right, and the guy, and they didn't even, hold on, gotta breathe, and not get angry. So what they said was they didn't even need my boss's number. They said they actually needed the client's number, and that's not what they said. They're like, oh, maybe you should try the client's number. Sometimes that will work too. That's when it showed up. Bam, finally, okay, and it's been way too long. I've called my boss twice for this already and texted him constantly for all this information that I do not have. And even the people at Home Depot are asking me wrong questions and telling me and giving me false advice on how to find things for themselves. I do not want to be here any longer. This is way longer than it has ever taken me, ever. And that's like 15, 20 minutes into it. So finally, we're locked and loaded. I get the card, I get the receipt, and like, okay, now drive around back. All right, boy, drive around back and we'll load this thing up. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I drive around, bring, bam, and I bust it, and I back it up like a champion, boom, 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 boom. And this guy meets me there with the thing. He's like, okay, now we're gonna need some help for this thing. So he's like, he yells over to his buddy, yo, Bobby! Bobby's on the forklift. Bobby! It's pouring rain. We're standing here in the rain. Bobby! He's like, what? And he's like, Bobby, we need your help. Bobby's too heavy. Can you come over here and help us? We need your forklift. And the guy, and Bobby, who's on the forklift in the rain, stares at him for what feels like 18 seconds, and he just says, no. And he drives off. I don't know if there was some sort of weird weird I don't know. I have no idea what was going on between them, but the point is I did not want to be caught in the middle of it. So this guy, the only guy, for all I didn't know what I was even picking up. I just knew that I was supposed to go in the back of this truck. So I do not have a forklift for this guy that apparently we required a forklift. I was like, okay, well, great. Well, I'm still going to try and pick it up because I'm not going to wait for Bobby in the rain to go doing whatever he's doing on a forklift, and you can't even get him over it, and you're friends with him, and Bobby's just like, no. And so anyways, I'm left there in the rain with this guy. I'm like, all right, let's try and pick it up. Where is it? We go over to it, and it's like 25 feet long. It's 20 for a bed of a truck, for a short bed truck, and there's 6 of them. There's 6 of these 25 feet long things. And yeah, so we're like, yeah, this is not gonna fit. Why? What? So then I have to call the boss. I'm like, yo, what's the deal? And he's like, yeah, I did not order that. They were not supposed to be that long. They were supposed to be like 10 feet. I was like, okay, great. So then I get the guy back, and he's like, so this guy's like, yeah, call your boy. I'll be right here. So I call the guy. I turn off. He's gone. In the middle, I'm sitting here in the middle of the rain. He disappeared completely within 15 seconds. So I had to go start looking for him. I can't find him. I find some other guy. I'm like, dude, can you help me? Get someone from the lumber yard. Can you cut these things? They say no because there's plastic in whatever I was picking up. And it interferes with the saw, so they weren't allowed to cut it. So I'm sitting there in the rain. After I finally get this guy, I finally find someone in the rain to come over with me. And they're like, yeah, no, sorry, I can't do that. No cutting. Gone, dead. And by the way, I drove an hour out of the way to this thing as well. So everything was for nothing. And so comes my fatal flaw when I have to call the boss once more and say, yeah, there's nothing thing I can do here. So then I tracked down the original guy inside the store. I had to give him the receipt and say, no, I can't do this today. He will come back. He's get a trailer and come back because you guys can't cut him. Whatever, blah, blah, blah. I hop in. I don't even get the thing. The end. That was my final day. Was 3 hours or something like that. Maybe more. I don't even know. But for that long, I walked away empty-handed. I didn't even come with. I mean, so that was the end of that story. And the podcast was never made. And it was just a delicious, sweet story I got to tell later on. So this was welcome to Recap Mcgee, 2 weeks of filler, but bam. And that's what that was. So that's how how my week working with him was. And I just don't know why every single time I'm soaked and I haven't eaten and it's late and I was supposed to be off like my shit, like there's not clock, it wasn't whatever, but it was just supposed to end at 4. It's like 5 o'clock now. I'm working past this, just out in the middle of nowhere, 2 hours from home. And I was just like, dude, at least let me get the stuff. There's nothing like it's not even important, right? I wasn't gonna be here to put up. It was my last day anyways. But I didn't want it. I just wish things would go well for that one time. It is never once. Someone's always been, you don't have this, you don't have that. Call this, call him, call that. You're like, everyone acts like if it's like plated with gold or something, or I'm like some sort of fool trying to steal your stuff. It's like, he's on the phone right now. Like, isn't that good enough? It's never enough. Hope you enjoyed your recap time. That was that with Over the Fence. Tristan Sartoris. This is not the end, actually, because I have to do one more thing. I have to tell you that going forward, there may be some issues with the podcast because I might be going down to do some carpentry stuff, blah, 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 in Alabama. I'm not trying to criticize Alabama the way I said that. I'm just saying let's just say families are really close down there. Point is, so I might be going down there for a while, and I don't know how the podcast situation is going to work. So if something goes down and I disappear, just know it's not because I had struggle or problems or issues with hammering nails in, okay? Because I probably got it back together. I got it down on lock again. You'll see. Or it's not because I got stuck in a Home Depot. It is just because things weren't working out, but I'm going to try my best. I'm just giving you a little, what's that? What's the word? Warning, holy crap, why can't I think of that? Okay. So anyways, I'm just giving you a little heads up. That's not the word I'm looking for, but it'll do for now. So I don't know if I'm going to record a bunch of episodes in bulk or if I'm going to miss weeks, but I'm going to try and get in the next week episode, especially because that's the Halloween episode. There were so many things I wanted to do. It's just this podcast is kind of, there's life taking turns and we're going to roll with the punches. But anyways, that's a little update. Welcome back to Recap Mcgee. It won't happen next week because I'm not going to wait 2 weeks, so there won't be a lot of things I got to cram into. And granted, they might not have all been important, but the things I need to update you and let you know on what was going on because I couldn't cut the story off halfway and I couldn't talk any faster because I'm already excited. Oh, yeah! So anyways, sorry, hope you love the podcast. Hope it was great. Thanks so much for listening. This has been Over the Fence with me. Hi, Tristan Sartoris. Thanks so much for listening. I love you guys. And I'm out. See you next week for Halloween. Spread the peace!